Where has the been since I saw thee on Ilkla Moor, Baht?
Hi, hopefully by now you'll have watched my other two videos on programming a Deus 1 remote after I accidentally wiped all my earlier programs by upgrading to version 6 software. The other two videos go into a bit more detail about how and why to use certain settings. In this one, I'm just going to run through it and explain why I've set it up this way. So this program is called Stubble. It's needed when you're on, obviously, stubble fields, where you need to have a fairly fast, heavy swing to bash through the stubble, keep contact with the soil or keep down near the soil. It's probably taken me longer than any other program to set up. I've experimented with all sorts of settings. One program I did try it on, which I had a reasonable amount of success, is Goldfield. But what I've actually done with Goldfield is altered it to work on maize stems, which you can't bash through easily. So this version is for stubble. And I'm sure if you try it, you'll like it. So it's based on GM Power, one of my, I suppose, favourites, certainly most used base programs for creating custom programs. So let's have a look at how I set it up. There we go. So it's, first thing you see is discrimination 4. You don't need a high discrimination on this, but 4 seems to be about the top level I'd go to. You can drop it down to 3, even to 2.5 if you're finding you're getting a lot of spurious signals. But you should find on this program, the way it's set up, discrimination 4 is perfect. Let's have a look in expert settings. Now, you'll notice there's no tone breaks. It's on pitch tone. And what pitch tone does is, the louder the signal, basically the shallower it is. The fainter the signal, the deeper it is. And it's a good dig or don't dig tone to use. It's not the pitch program, which I think is program 4. This is GM Power, using pitch tone. You can alter, by using your plus and minus buttons, you can alter the sound of that pitch to find something that you like hearing. I've also set it up to give you, because we're using GM Power, it'll give you an iron tone, it'll give you an iron crackle, which we'll find out as we go through it, because I've put an iron volume on it. Whoops, it is sliding everywhere. Right, so discrimination 4. Sensitivity, 89. It's a good all-round, I think, all-round stubble fields, ploughed fields sensitivity. If you've got interference, reduce it, have a play, but 89 should do you nicely. Don't be tempted to go right up to sort of 95, 96, even if you've got a quiet field, because you'll get a lot of spurious signals coming from the stubble stems themselves. So stick to 89. And if we go down to the next, frequency, very subjective, but I find on this program, once again, a high frequency. I'm running at present an X35 coil. I have got tucked away a HF coil, but I'm not currently using it. I like the response I'm getting from the X35. So just take it up to as high as you can take it. In my case, I've just gone on to the 25 setting and altered the frequency to get up to 27. Move it around if you get interference from other detectors around you, or especially mine labs, but otherwise good setting. Go as high as you can. If you've got a HF coil, go up to in the 30s. The higher the frequency, a good rule of thumb, the smaller the artifact, the smaller the coin you can detect. So if you want in sort of big lumps, reduce your frequency. If you want in those small coins, go to a higher frequency. Good rule of thumb to think about. High frequency, small coin, small artifact. Right, let's go down to the next. Iron volume. As I said, although we're using pitch tone, I want to hear the iron. So an iron grunt will come through because of the way that GM power is set up. So iron volume 4. Reactivity, strange one. Reactivity 3. You want a fast swing through Stubble, so you need a high reactivity. 3, 4, pretty good reactivities for Stubble. I've no problem if you want to change your reactivity lower, but prepared for a slower swing. If you take a lower reactivity, your processor and your detector just won't handle a lot of signals and be able to filter out the ones you want, even on pitch tones rather. So reactivity 3, try and stick to that. Expert setting is just the silencer, which is overruled by reactivity anyway, so it's silent to -1. Don't worry about it. Audio response 4. You want to hear those deep signals and those iron grunts. Expert setting is just audio overload. Tells you when you're hitting a big lump. It will send a tone to say you're overloading your signal response. So out of that, that's what we're meaning to do. Notch you don't need to worry about. Never use. And we're back to beginning again. Ground balance. I around this area with a flinty soil on average, I stick to 89. You can take it up, but on some programs I do fairly regularly manual ground balance to check it, and it always seems to be around 89 as a good ground balance. So save it. I've called it Stubble. It's just because I'm getting old and I need visual prompts to tell me what the programs do. So Stubble, when I'm on a Stubble field, simple as that. Have a play, experiment, see what you think. Oh, people have asked me what these blobs are on my keys. They're stops, drawer stops or cupboard door stops, the little stick-on rubber stops. It just makes it easier to use your remote when you're wearing gloves. And it just means I can press through the cover, the keys much easier. Please save it, please use it, please play about with it. Programs are not written on tablets of stone, they're there to experiment with, and I've spent a while playing with this. I think Gary Blackwell, in his XP Skills School, recommends you use the pitch program on Stubble. I found it wasn't as responsive as using GM Power. Obviously, opinions differ. Some may say that Gary knows what he's talking about. Trust me, I spent a lot of time experimenting, and this setting does work. So if you like it, please try it. Leave a comment on YouTube. If you think it's rubbish, tell me it's rubbish. If you think it's wonderful, once again, leave me lavish praise, saying how fantastic I am. And the final thing, a mercenary plea. I want to get 2,000 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, why not? Please subscribe. YouTube will eventually give me a pat on the head and say, good boy, we'll start paying you for posting videos because people like to watch them. So with that, I'll say goodbye. Bye.